Ethyn, right here. Congratulations on the victory. I don't think many of us expected to see not just fighting tonight, but maybe back here. I'm sure a lot of people were kind of surprised, not just here but around the world. So I guess just walk us through the last 48 hours of your career, because this has got to be a whirlwind of a week.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a lot of comments all across social media, and I mean, you heard the crowd. That's been the last 3 crowds that I've shown up to, though. I got a lot of boos, and then there's a lot of cheering for the other guy. The last 2 were by knockout. This one wasn't as clean, but I put on a performance all the same. The last 48 hours, Thursday morning, I woke up past my alarms. There's about 25 missed calls on my cell phone, and they said, hey, the UFC is calling. You better get up and get ready. And so I went. I cut weight before they even said yes, and then there was all sorts of medicals I had to go get done. So I drove all around LA till about 8 o'clock at night. And then I jammed straight to LAX. My brother drove me all around. And then I jammed straight to LAX, flew out at 11 o'clock, got here, sat in traffic, got to the hotel 7:30, 8 o'clock, went, jumped on the scale, and then obviously the rest has come to fruition. Fighting an MSG, pro debut on 2 days' notice, and now I get to sit here and do media with you guys.
Was there any hesitation at all, or was it just like UFC calls, you're like, I'm ready, let's do it?
No, zero hesitation. I've known that I belong here for a long time. I'm on a now 9-fight win streak, 7 of those by knockout. Only 2 have gone the distance, and so I've been ready for the stage. I've known for a long time. I've expected that I would get to this stage, and so, yeah, as soon as they called, let's do it. We'll jump on a plane. We'll do all the medicals and weight cutting we need to. Let's make it happen.
And Malcolm obviously had a lot of hype. They really wanted him on this card. Obviously, this was his 3rd opponent he had for this. So I guess how much did you know about him? And right when they gave you Malcolm's name, you're like, all right, let's watch as much tape as possible in these 48 hours.
I knew plenty about Malcolm. Anytime I see bantamweight in the men's division on the UFC, I tune in and I watch it closely. So, like I said, I've been planning for this for a long time. I knew Malcolm brings a punch. I knew that right hand is big for him. I knew he puts people out, and I was prepared for it. There's not a lot of film on him. You watch his old stuff. That's about it. I knew he had the power. I knew I had the power, and I knew we were going to test those 2 things, and then see who the cleaner boxer was. And I knew that technically I was going to bring that advantage there. I knew he had the power, and I knew he was a big guy, but I knew that technically I am very well versed when it comes to striking, so I knew I would have it there.
And I probably know the answer to this, but like moving forward, you're gonna have a mark on you at this point for like the next opponent. Like, I want to be the guy. Like, you stole Malcolm's hype on 48-hour notice. I want that hype now. So I'm sure that's something you welcome. But I guess when would you want to fight again? I'm sure you would want at least more than 48 hours to prepare.
Yeah. Well, the next one will be at bantamweight 135, so I'll definitely need more than 48 hours to prepare for that. And yeah, no, my last fight before this one, I said whoever and whenever. I got to let this cut heal up. I got to let the body heal up a little bit. I got a baby boy coming December 10th, so I would like to stay home and be able to attend to the family. And then come January, February, and they call me up, I'll be well prepared and very hungry to get back in the cage.
And then just last one for me. Have you had the opportunity to just even reflect on like the craziness of what's happened here, or is it just all the second you got the call, it's medicals, flight, weights, like it's just you have not had time to kind of smell the roses at all?
I mean, it's still surreal. I'm here at MSG in New York City, across the country, less than 48 hours notice or right about it, and it still feels surreal. I still can't wrap my head around it, but I prepared for this moment a long time. I knew I belonged here, and so in some way I have prepared for it.
Congratulations on the win. Obviously, look, it's not just a last-minute UFC debut. It's a last-minute UFC debut at Madison Square Garden against a guy that clearly they're looking at as fond of the future. So you were coming in on short notice, right? Not many people are expecting you to get the win. So in a sense, is there a lot of pressure on you because, holy shit, it's Madison Square Garden, it's UFC debut, or is there no pressure on you and you're just able to go out there and do what you do best?
There's a lot of roller coaster of emotions that go on anytime you get into a cage and really on any platform. As I reflected and I contemplated, the battle is internal. It's all mental. So if you can win that battle, then you can win anything. And I really did a good job controlling that, thinking about it. I went through every positive scenario, every negative scenario, and by the end of it, like I said, I knew I belonged here, and it was just another man in just another cage, and I was ready to go out and fight all the same.
In terms of skill level, it's clear that you're very, very good at this. And it's interesting, right, because now you've beaten Malcolm, and as Jose said, you've kind of taken his hype. But I wonder if you being in there with him, you sort of think, actually, no, he's also very, very good, and we're just kind of the future of this division, and the rest of us haven't realized that yet.
Yeah, I know he's top level. I know he has a lot of hype behind him, and he's a fantastic fighter. There's no question about it. He's finished a lot of great fighters in spectacular fashion, but I am the future of this division. I'm ready for everything. I'm here to take all the marbles, and like I said, I prepare above and beyond, and I believe that I belonged here for a long time, and now you guys got to see it firsthand, and I'm ready to take over everything.
And last one for me, right? There's multiple ways you can handle a UFC career. You've come in and made a splash right away. So next time out, are you happy to just sort of work your way up the rankings, improve as a fighter, or are you ready to get in there with the big name that Malcolm would have probably got next, right? Which one would you rather go?
Hey, you guys saw how it worked out when they threw me against the top-level competition. So, you know, whatever they want to do, if it pushes numbers, if it's very exciting and it gets the fans and the crowd all riled up, and it gives me the opportunity to fight the best and really prove that I'm the baddest man at 135 or 145 pounds, then I'm ready to do it.
Ethyn, right back here. Yeah, right in the middle. Just to clarify something. So you got a whole bunch of missed calls from the UFC, or was it like a manager or somebody else calling you?
It was my coach, my manager, my dad, my sister. She never calls me in the morning. She said, "Call Dad. It's an emergency." I thought there was a car accident or something. You know, I was not thinking that. And then I called my dad back first. He goes, "I'm going to whoop your ass if you don't wake up and answer your phone calls. Like, what's going on here? Call Ben, call your coach." So I called coach, talked to the management, and then, I talked to all those guys.
And then you flew in that night. You flew that night, and you got in at about 8 o'clock in the morning and went right on the scale an hour later.
Yeah, we got here at like, I don't know, 6:30 something at the airport. It took us like an hour and a half here. I live in LA. I think the traffic is bad there, but man, it was crazy. It was a dead stop. So when I got here, it was 7:30, maybe closer to 8, and I checked weight, and then had to get the official Venom underwear on, and then went and jumped on the real scale and did it.
Did you have to cut any weight? And how much did you have to cut?
So when they called me that morning, I started cutting weight before they even said yes. So just to make sure that when they did say yes, finally, that I was on weight. I ended up cutting like 11, 12 pounds, that morning. And then I had to go do medicals all throughout LA, like I said, and then I was ready to go.
Did you notice a difference at 145?
It's a lot more fun cutting to 145 than 135, I'll tell you that much.
And last question for me. Is this a thing like you're always ready to get that call, or you just happen to be like the perfect scenario this time?
I am always ready. There's no doubt about that. But I just came off of a KO win last weekend, so I definitely had some in and out and was sitting and relaxing a little bit this week, but I'm ready to go.
Congratulations.
Ethyn, right over here. If I'm not mistaken, last week at A1 Combat, you kind of spoke this into existence. You had an interview. You said, like, when the UFC calls X, Y, and Z, if you don't mind, kind of share some of those things you had said, but, like, it happened. So what's your reactions to just, like, literally speaking it into existence?
I believe heavily in that, the law of attraction and manifesting things, when you speak it out loud, when you tell people it's going to happen, but most importantly, you go and you work very hard for it, then I really, truly believe that's how things work. And, yeah, in my post-fight interview, I said, I'm sharp now. I'm ready now. I said, I want to be in the UFC. I said, I believe I'm UFC caliber. And then I finished with saying, I know I'm UFC caliber. Like I've said in a couple of questions earlier, I truly believe that this has been a long time coming. I remember being a young man, young boy, sitting and watching the UFC and saying, I'm going to be there one day. And I believed it for a long time, so here I am.
And tonight, obviously, you introduced your fighting style to the world, at least to the people who hadn't seen it before. Is there anything we should know about you as a person, too? Like anything that you find cool about yourself, that we should know as well?
I mean, what's not cool about me, you know?
The coolest things. I mean,
I come from a big family. I'm the oldest of 8. I got a whole bunch of munchkins at home that are at my parents' house that I really try hard to be an example to. I got a little baby boy coming December 10th, which is very important to me. I'm an avid outdoorsman. I like to spearfish, and this is not the only adrenaline seeking that I do. So, yeah, anything that's outdoors, anything that's adventurous, I love it. But, biggest is that I'm a family man. Those things are very important to me. And I'm a God-fearing man as well. That's the most important thing to me.
and lastly, Uriah Faber's in attendance tonight. He was in one of the corners. Obviously, you fought for his promotion last week. Have you been able to speak to him tonight at all?
I haven't seen him tonight, no. I haven't had that opportunity.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Had you even been to New York before? I mean, was it?
No, this is the first time. This is the first time in New York, first time at Madison Square Garden, first time in the UFC.
I mean, what do you think as you were coming to New York? I mean, you even thinking about the city? You're only thinking about the fight, or like?
Yeah, I got to go stand at Times Square last night. We took a little stroll, and this is a thing of destiny. That's kind of what I kept repeating to myself. There would not be. I would not be here if it wasn't for a very, very special reason to not only debut in the UFC on short notice, but to be in Madison Square Garden is spectacular. It's amazing to be in this big of a city where so much happens. Yeah, I thought a lot about it, and this was a thing of destiny. This
Were you saying that even as you stood in Times Square? Like, this is a thing?
Yeah, you sit and you look at the lights and you ask yourself, like, is this all real? Am I supposed to be here? And as you contemplate it, it's like, yeah, this is it. I've watched this as a young boy. I planned for this for a long time. I put in the work coming up, and now I'm here. Now I'm all the big promos, all the big lights and action, all the big movies. This is where it happens, and that's why I'm here, because I'm here to put on a show.
What was it like walking into the garden and looking around at the? It's probably the biggest place you fought, right? I mean,
Yeah. Well, last night was cool. You're all VIP, walking through the back and all that stuff. You get to sit behind the curtain as you're waiting to do the weigh-ins. You got that picture of Connor where he's standing in front of the crowd at the weigh-ins flexing, and you just see this just never-ending rows of people. And I look at that picture often, and I manifest that I was going to be there standing in front of him. So then I get to stand on Ali versus Frazier's weigh-in scale, which is monumentous. I mean, I watch the boxing stuff. I'm very into the boxing stuff now as I've done more of it. And, it's a thing of destiny.
all those times that you would watch these UFC fights and you wouldn't be a part of it, what was it doing to you? Was it eating you up? What were you saying? What were you doing? I mean,
Yeah, I would watch guys and just know I can not only compete with those guys, but I think that I can go and finish these guys even. I'm definitely meant to be there.
and you didn't seem surprised at the end, like you expected it.
Yeah, I just went 15 minutes with the guy, and we went back and forth. And, yeah, I mean, I definitely landed the better shots. I had a couple takedowns to secure it. He hit me with some clean things, but there got to a point where I just was like, this guy can't hurt me. And so once it was all said and done, I knew I had secured that victory.
And one last thing, what did he say to you at the end? It looked like he was talking to you.
He just, he gave me major props, which was very cool of him. He's a hell of a competitor. He's a great guy. He was very cool every interaction we had. And he said, he's like, I've not only fought some of the best in the world, but I finished them spectacularly. And he just told me, you're high level, you're world class. And he's like, best of luck to you.
Just one here from me. Your Octagon interview, you did make a plea for a bonus. It's kind of an unwritten rule sometimes when asking Dana for a bonus. Sometimes he doesn't give it out. But have you had a chance to talk to Dana? Obviously, the circumstances surrounding this fight, you would hope that you would get that $50K, right?
Well, I just said, Dana, you saw that performance, right?
Have you spoken to him at all?
Yeah, we went through all the secret tunnels up to the penthouse suite, and we got to meet with Dana and have a conversation. So it was very cool.
Over here. So I don't know how much you know about, New York sports history or whatever, but the name Ewing hovers over this this arena, and it looms very large in this city. How aware were you of Patrick Ewing?
Well, we have a long lost relation to one another.
I can see it. No, it's clear. But I mean, is it kind of interesting to kind of just be able to create some new Ewing history here? Like, obviously, again, it's a name that means a lot to a lot of people in this city, but now you're a new Ewing that made a mark here.
Well, now that you say that, it's very cool. Yeah, I've thought about cementing not only my legacy but the Ewing name for a long time, and it's tremendous to do that.
Do you think maybe you're due to buy a Patrick Ewing Knicks jersey now to represent your win here?
You know, maybe him and I, have a little get together and we get to get the jersey on and do some media with it. So that'd be cool.
At the family reunion.
At the family reunion, yeah. We'll have a barbecue and everything.
Thank you.
Just one here. You just spoke about manifesting things. Is there a name you really want to face in the division, like Dream Fight, for example, for you?
A dream fight, huh? It's a very stacked division, the 135 bantamweight division. I want to fight all the big names. I mean, you got killers like Petr Yan, Corey Sandhagen's super technical. Obviously, Merab is the champion. He's like a unanswered question. People can't figure him out. So those are the top dogs. I mean, of course, I want to go and be the champion. I want to wear that belt around my waist. A little closer than that, I don't know. There's a ton of names. I guess we'll have to figure that out when we get there.
Thank you.
Ethan over here. Congrats on the win. The champion, Merab Dvalishvili, he gave you props on Twitter. What does that mean? The whole world knows who you are now. Like, what does that mean to you?
It's very exciting. I've been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
John over here from Tunnel Vision Sports. I just wanted to simply, you said the last couple fights you've kind of come in and embraced the underdog role and kind of, embraced the upset. With that being said, what type of mentality you have to tap in and to build off that momentum?
I just make sure I'm solid before I go into it. Last time I was in Sacramento, with the Sacramento crowd, and the time before that I was in Minnesota with the hometown Minnesota fighter. So I knew that. I mean, you guys saw the weigh-ins. They booed me on the way out, and then they got all crazy for Malcolm. I know this guy's a fan favorite. I know he's got so much hype behind him. He was 10-0. He's undefeated. But I love it. I love it. They all start booing, and then he comes out and they go crazy, and I just get a big old smile on my face, and I'm like, let's do this. The people are going to know who Ethyn Ewing is after this one, and I love it. I love being the underdog. I've been that way my whole career. From being a wrestler growing up, I never was with the big team and the big schools and the big names. I never had that. But I've always had the ability to work the hardest and to dream the biggest and sacrifice the most. And so I love when they cheer for the other guy. It gets me riled up.
What about a name like Cody Garbrandt?
That'd be great. I would love that name. Thank you, guys.